What's going on, guys? This is Apollo1, and today we're going to be taking a look at some pretty interesting information for Call of Duty Ghosts that kind of has been put together by a team called Charlie Intel, which they kind of bring things together for the next Call of Duty. They always do it. They're like experts in figuring things out. A lot of YouTubers use them for their information, and they're a great, reliable source. Their links will be in the description. They're not really a YouTube channel. They're more of a Twitter and a website. It's kind of like a website type of thing, but all credit goes to them for the information we're going to be talking about today. But a few things before we get into the topic. One, make sure to go check out Carnage Saddam's channel, guys. In Call of Duty Ghosts, he's going to be going crazy right in the start of it, getting gameplays. You don't want to miss those. You want to be right there. See them in your sub box the first day of Call of Duty Ghosts coming out, because he will be in your sub box with those gameplays right off the bat. I guarantee it. So make sure you go check out his channel. It will be in the description as well as on screen. And the second thing is, I know you guys are like, oh no, raid, AN-94. Just try to bear with us and kind of ignore that that part of it. It's a good scoreline, and we're trying to put out all the scorelines and the gameplays that we've gotten through Black Ops 2 before the game is over. And we won't be posting, we'll be posting Call of Duty Ghosts, obviously. So, just bear with us, guys. I know it's rough, but it's kind of getting the same thing. We understand there's really nothing we can do about it. It's just the last 20 days. So just the commentaries, that's what we're trying to focus on. We're trying to bring you guys really good quality content, information on these videos with good commentaries. So hopefully you guys enjoy my commentary. I don't know if you will or not, but hopefully you do. So anyways, guys, we're going to be talking about the Call of Duty Ghosts maps. We have 13 out of 15 known maps so far. Who knows? They could drop another 3 spontaneous maps out of nowhere into the game when we go on to multiplayer on November 5th, and we could be surprised. But right now, we do know that there's 15 confirmed maps, and we only know 13 of the names, or we've only seen 13 of them so far. So we're going to be taking a look at images of them right now. So let's start off with the 4 that we already know, and that's going to be Whiteout, Octane, Strike Zone, and Chasm. Now, starting off with Whiteout, it's kind of the summit of Black Ops 2 or in Call of Duty Ghosts. It's the snowy map. It looks probably medium to large range. There's some lines of sight, good for snipers, good for ARs. Then there's little corners and little rushing routes that you can probably use SMGs, and some cabins and stuff that you can use SMGs in. So it looks like an all-around kind of map. It looks pretty decent. And the next one's Octane. We've seen a lot of gameplay on that. It looks very small. It does look like a smaller map. It's one with the gas station in the middle with it's kind of like a destructible object that will topple over if you explode the barrels around it. And that's pretty cool. And the next one is Strike Zone. We've seen a ton of gameplay. As you can see, there's a really cool looking sniper on there in the picture. But we've seen a lot of gameplays on Strike Zone. It looks like a map that's perfect for specialists. It really does. You're probably going to see a lot of crazy specialist gameplays, fast-paced rushing, because it's probably like a smaller, maybe medium-sized map. Definitely a good rushing map. It's going to be a popular one. I guarantee it's going to be a popular map. And the next one's Chasm, and I feel a little concerned about this map. It looks pretty cool. It is a pretty cool looking map, except for it reminds me a little bit of Downturn. I'm not going to lie, it does. It looks a little like Downturn, and I'm not a fan of the maps where it's kind of like it's like destroyed and there's stuff, debris everywhere. I'm not really a fan of those kind of maps. However, it could be good. We don't know. There's also a lot of levels to this map, so there's a lot of camping corners, stuff like that. But I don't know. It could turn out to be a great map. So those are the 4 that we've really seen an in-depth amount of gameplay and pictures and images. But the next ones are kind of brand new. Not really brand new. You've seen them probably, but here's specific images and stuff like that you're going to be taking a look at. So moving on, we're going to be taking a look at a map called Stonehaven, and this is going to be one of my favorite maps in Call of Duty Ghosts. Just looking at this image, I think. You can't really tell too much about it, but it's a castle, guys. I mean, that's just awesome. It's a castle with like the battlefield around it. It looks really cool. It looks pretty clean. It looks like it's going to be a longer sight kind of AR map. It could be rush route if you properly maneuver the map with an SMG. It could be pretty good. Now, if we can go in the castle, that's going to be badass. I just hope you can't go up in the towers, because then that's going to be sniping heaven up there. But it looks like a decent map. I'm excited to play that one. And the next one is Free Fall. They've been advertising this as the DLC bonus if you pre-order it, so make sure you go pre-order it. This map looks pretty cool. It's a tower that had blown over and it's kind of leaning on its own base, as well as it's kind of like gone into the parallel tower, and it's like balancing on it, and it's like probably shaking while you're playing it and stuff. It's going to be a really cool map. Probably going to have 2 levels to it, as like you're probably going to be running through it as an office building bent over, so it's going to be like kind of like weird and Inception like. And I guarantee at the end of every map you play on it, kind of like Nuketown blows up, I guarantee it's going to fall. I know that's going to happen. And in the next maps, guys, moving on, the next maps we're going to be looking at, we don't know the maps names really. Charlie Intel has them as maps names are unknown, so these are just kind of names that they kind of look like the names, so if that makes any sense. And you'll see in this first one, which we're going to call Satellite. As you can see, the satellites in the background, looks like a deserty kind of map. Looks pretty good, you know. As you can see, the guys in that bottom right hand corner is kind of like down lower on that hill, so it looks like you can kind of go down there, maybe sneak up on enemies. This map looks pretty cool. You know, I don't know really how it's gonna play out. You can see 2 images right here, but I don't know. You know, it does look like a decent map. I think it's going to be. I do. Just something about it just tells me it's gonna be a cleaner map. It is desert-like, but it looks decent. And the next one is really vibrant and bright. I'm excited for this one. It looks really nice and clean. This one's probably gonna be really rush-friendly. A definite SMG map. As you can see, he's using a sniper, but this is probably a kill streak that he's using. We also saw this on Stonehaven in the image of Stonehaven. But this is a very rush-friendly map, probably a very classified as smaller map for SMGs, stuff like that. Probably going to see a lot of crazy gameplays on that map as well. And the next one is, we're going to label as Containers. Kind of a dull, more depressing-looking map. The colors aren't the best. It looks kind of run down. Reminds me a little bit of Zoo and Aftermath, kinda. I don't know if you between these pictures you can kind of looks like those a little bit, but I don't know. And the next one is Forest. This map looks really cool. It reminds me of like Jungle and Drone put together, like they had a baby. Oh my god, do you guys hear my computer? Anyways, it looks like Drone and Jungle had a baby, and this is what came out. It looks pretty nice. The one image that's kind of brighter, you can see with the sniper, he's kind of like by a building and a flag. It kind of looks like Battlefield. I don't know. That just reminds me so much of Battlefield. It looks just like Battlefield. It looks crazy. It looks really nice though. And that map's probably gonna be good. You know, a lot of these images are with snipers. That kind of scares me. But you don't know. I don't know. It could be a good map. We'll see. Can't wait to play it. And the next one is Urban. This is going to be like a city that's run down. Looks pretty good. It does look like it has structure. It doesn't look as bad as the Aftermath Downturn kind of map. It looks more structured, kind of clean. And in the one image, you can see that water's up to looks like the guy in front of you. It's up to their chest or a little bit above their waist. And you're probably going to move through that water very slowly. Now, it could play a very significant part of the map in domination. Maybe you can sneak to the B flag somehow. I don't know. I don't know really why you'd want to go down there, but, you know, it does look pretty cool. It does definitely look really nice, so you never know. And it looks like a decent map. I can't really rate it. It looks like probably a medium to larger sized map, but you can't really tell until you play it. And the next map, now this could be a picture from Strike Zone. It could be another area of the map. It kind of looks a little like Strike Zone, but I do think it's another separate map. Just by looking at the overall, I don't know where that would fit in, because just because of the front of that building on the right side of the image, it looks like a really cool map. Looks very structured, doesn't look destroyed and broken down. Looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Probably a good rush route map, a good gameplay map that you're gonna see a lot of. That should be a good map that we'll probably see a lot of information on later on. And the final map is, we're gonna label as Town. It kind of reminds me of these zombies maps that we saw in Black Ops 2. And it's like kind of looking like suburbs, abandoned, run-down, small little town. Probably a smaller map. You know, town's smaller, so that would make sense if it was a smaller sized map. Maybe medium range. It does look like there's some longer lines of sight. Probably good for ARs, which this gun looks like. And that's probably what we're going to be dealing with in that map. So anyways, guys, that's all 13 maps that we know of as of now. Leave your comments in the section below, comment section below, on what you think, what your favorite map's going to be from these images. And let's try to hit 200 likes. It would really mean a lot. We're trying to put a lot of effort and time into these videos. It's been Apollo 1, and I'll see you guys later.